Yes. So I've done the novice ones and I've done the beginner ones because they're mostly just about inputs and like how a fighting game works. Am I a bit crooked? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll start with the intermediate ones. I've just started doing a bit. I'll do them again. So the first one is Assault. A quick and efficient way to close in on your opponent. Using jump attacks from Assault can pressure your opponent. So basically, what they mean is that you can use this sort of like a jump in, but instead of getting all of this, like it takes quite a long time to come down with a move. So what you want to do is just 6D, you get this short up, and from this you can do one move. So you can do A, B, or C, or a special. You can even do like stuff like that. So what they want you to do is do this. So that's a way to get in on the opponent, but you can also use this as a mix-up tool. I think they get into that later, but we can go through it now. Just do all these. Let's retry. You can also mix this up with throws, because a throw will not hit someone in the air or in jump startup, and this counts as jump startup. So if you run towards someone and they want to throw you or try to take your throw, you can run up and assault instead, and their throw will whiff and you can punish with something. So assaults can be used either just by running up against someone and doing it, or from afar. Different moves will convert into different combos, and some moves can only convert with CS. So how I use this move with Merkava, Assault that is usually to get over lows, like moves like that don't have a high hitbox. You can get around that by assaulting. So a lot of characters have really good low pokes. So when you want to run at someone, they can hit you right here with something like that, or no, that's not there, but like that. So what you do is just like run up to them and hit them with an assault instead, which leads to combo. The next one is aerial assault. So you can dive quickly towards your opponent. It's basically the same. It's an air dash or short hop. While in the air, you can cancel the move you did from it. So you can do two moves instead. This can create double overhead setups. So you can just run at someone and jump back. Like that will double overhead them. So they have to block the first one high and then keep blocking high until you land, where you can do lows instead. Now they just want me to learn how to do it, I guess. So basically it's the same as Assault, but from the air, and you get to cancel the move. Cancelling unique moves. Let's see what this is. Similar to normal moves, unique moves can be performed as a part of a passing link. We went through passing link earlier. That's basically where you cancel a move into a move. Note that certain unique moves may not let you cancel after hitting. Right, okay. So, I don't know Hyde's specific ones, but sort of like Merkava 2cc, where he lunges at you and then throws you up in the air. You can't actually use passing link or Gatling or whatever you want to call it. So you can do 2cc, and when you've done 2cc, you can only special cancel it. You can't do any more normals after that. Dash attacks, yeah, we know what dash attacks are. Ministry of Silly Walks. Right, important about dash attacks is that you have to hold it. If I dash and press 5B, it will do a 5B. But if I dash and hold, that's when you get the dash attack. Nothing special about that, really. Holding down the attack button can change the effect of moves. Yeah, okay, so increase or increase charge, or this is when you see the square brackets around a move or a button. That's what that's when you want to charge it. So Hyde has 5C and he has force function. So basically these moves You can use them to create some weird frame traps. So like moves that are usually tied into 5C can become they can become a gap. And this 5C actually like becomes plus and rebeat. Not all moves that are chargeable become more plus or better on advantage, but his one does and Mika's does. Rush cancel. Alright, so moves that cancel into themselves. So basically you can do 2A as many times as you want. You can do this with 5A as well. Normally you get the auto combo, but if you hold jump as well, he should be blocking. It only works on block, since otherwise you can jump cancel it. You can do 5A as many times as you want as well. Let's see if we get a blocking one. Alright, okay. So if I run up and just press A, we'll do the auto combo. But if I press A and then hold jump, he won't be able to jump cancel it. But something about him trying to jump cancel it makes it so that if you press 5A again, you get another 5A instead of the auto combo. So you can do 2A, 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 5A, 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 5A. Yeah. Guard against a special attack. Yeah, okay. So basically special moves deal a little bit of damage. So if you look up on his health bar, like you do a little bit of damage. Force function usually does that as well. And hide gets a lot of chip damage from force function in Vorpal. So you see how much health that takes. If I don't have Vorpal, it does a lot less. That's only for hide though, that's his special ability. Chip damage does not kill in this game, so you can't win around if both players are on the bottom of the health and try to chip them out. It won't do anything. So you'll have to find another way to kill them. Projectiles. Yeah, projectiles as fighting game move. Generally, projectiles are jumpable or air blockable. That said, if I do this and you jump and block, I can run in and do an air unblockable move to hit you out of the block zone. This is something Seth does a lot. So he has a setup where he puts meaty arrows on you, or like meaty, and if you try to jump them, you're in the air and you can't actually block most of the moves coming from ground. Invincible moves or reversals, usually DPs. So stuff like this. Okay, that was it, I guess. There are also universal ones. So you can do... Okay. So they want me to do that in the gap, I guess. Yeah. I don't think the 8 version is invincible, but it's fast enough to hit him anyway, so stuff like that can matter. Invincible moves are generally really good at dealing with someone's stagger pressure. So if you know they're going to stagger moves, like do frame traps basically, you can do a DP to get them out. So like this is a frame trap. Don't think the ones before are frame traps. No. So if you know it's coming, you can just DP it. And if you did something else that has a gap, you can still DP it. The downside of doing it in a string is that if he does it low and you're holding forward, because TPs are generally forward, down, down, forward, you'll get hit by the low since you're standing up. That's something to keep in mind. Most reversals aren't just down, there's some sort of like standing up part of it. Additional attacks. Inputting a command during a special attack may trigger additional attacks, right, okay. So basically, Hyde has a Rekka. Yeah, and he has other ones as well, like he can do... That's a double Hadouken. Oh, you can't do that on Wiff? Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. Some characters have this. I know Enkidu has a lot of this, and even with his normals. So basically all you do with Hyde is you just press the move again. Holding back, of course. With Phonon it's the same. Her Tatsu goes into a Rekka, and a couple of others. I don't need to go through them all. Rekka mind games are generally like frame trap mind games. Rekkas are generally very minus, so not always punishable, but you get your turn if you get the read. So if he does, or if Enkidu does 5cc, for example, he might want to stop before he does the last one, because once he's done the last one, you know that he can only super cancel, special cancel, or be hella minus. So stopping early in the Rekka can actually be good on block, because they have to react to you stopping rather than reacting to you reaching the end. So it can be very good. It's a bit cheeky, but you do what you can. EX special attacks are powerful specials that use 100 of your EX's gauge. Basically a special move that you power up by using meter. So you have his normal DP, you also have his EX DP. EX moves are not always invulnerable, so Hyde has this one, and he has this one that are invulnerable. His other ones aren't actually invulnerable, so if I would do this, I could get hit out of the startup of it. Same with this. No invul frames on that. What you can use special or EX special attacks for is like if you want to do conversions that you couldn't otherwise do. So you could do something simple. Let's see. How do you do that? Yeah, so like that. Usually you can't convert from most specials, but using an EX move can allow you to extend the combo. Some EX moves are plus. So if I would do something that's really minus like this, it's super minus. You can actually cancel it into this, which is really plus instead. So you use meter to not only stay safe, but be plus. Some characters have to use meter to stay safe, but that's another story. Same principle. Infinite Worth is a universal reversal. So this will be similar for all the characters. It's not exactly the same. Frame data can be different. So it uses all of your meter. You have to have full meter, like 200. If I do this, I can't actually do it. Okay, that shouldn't have worked, but okay. You can't use this unless you have full meter or is in veil off. So no matter how far down I am in this, I can still do Infinite Worth because veil off allows me to. Infinite Worth EXS, the strongest special attack available. Right, so this is basically anime. We'll have this animation. Every single Infinite Worth EXS has the same like pillar animation. They strike a pose and you go into this long cutscene. Generally this will do the most damage of any move you have, so if you want to really kill someone, this is what you want to combo into. You can do that by like cancelling from a special, like you can whiff cancel most specials into EXS moves, or if you just cancel when you hit it, you can probably just like, oh, maybe this one you can't actually. True. So if you're in CV, in crosscast veil off, you can cancel it from other supers, but I think you have to cancel it a bit differently from normals. Right, okay, you can't. So you'll have to find another way to do that. Maybe like, all right, we'll do this. So you'll have to like recover and then combo into it. All right. Raw, this will do a lot of damage, but in combos it will have usually minimum damage, and that can vary a lot between characters. Passing link order. Yeah, basically other games usually tell you to go from light to medium to heavy. In this game you can go from heavy to light, and it's fine. This is what enables you to rebeat. Rebeat is basically doing a big move into a small move that whiffs, and when the small move has less total animation frames than the recovery of the big move, you are not as minus or even plus in sometimes. We'll get back to that, I think. You can execute jump attacks into passing link. Since you can't use smart steer while in the air, it'll be important for you to know how to use passing link to combo. Now then, show me your passing link jump attacks. Right, so basically you can chain jump moves together. Yeah, and you can do that in reverse as well. You can do... That's J60. Okay. You can do reverse as well. It's fine. Using a special attack in a passing link will allow you to cancel a normal attack right into the special attack. Landing a special attack using a combo is a tactic you'd be wise to master. Yeah, basically you can combo into specials. Yeah. So you can cancel normals into specials, but you can't cancel specials into normals. That's basically it. Infinite worth combos. Yeah, greatly boost your damage. This is basically what I said before. Alright, okay. The cancel window is generally when the move hits. So if I did this too soon... That was really late, actually. If I do it too soon, it won't actually come out. So I can't just spam it. I have to time it with the hit of the attack. So it's like... That's too late. I think I'm actually missing me, but... Yeah. Success! Jump attack combos. Probably the same. Aerial C. Oh yeah, so this is from jump-ins. So jump-in moves generally have a lot of hit stun and a lot of block stun. So if you jump at someone and hit their block with that, you'll generally be plus. That's why you have shielding against air moves, but we'll go through that later. So if you hit an air move, you often get a combo from it. So you can probably like, yeah, even that combos. Why is this so difficult? Okay. Oh, 2A. Delaying it as much as possible is usually what you want to do, because the later it hits, the more plus you'll be, because the recovery of the move starts when you land. So say the move has 20 frames of hit stun, I don't know, and you do it as high as possible. You'll have all the frames between you hitting and you landing added to like the delay between the attacks. So if you hit the move high, you'll have a lot of frames before you can actually do an attack to combo into it. But if you hit the jump move low, you'll have less moves until you can do a new move. Aerial guarding is pretty specific. Fireballs you can usually block in the air. There are some moves that you can do this with as well, like normals. Most of them are unblockable. You also have air shield and air green shield, I guess. He's really bad at hitting me with these. Okay. So you can shield in the air as well. That's really important against air-to-air moves. So like if someone does a move in the air towards you, and you're also in the air, you can air shield it, but you can't just block it. Entering a throw command right when you're about to get grabbed will nullify the opponent's throw. This is called teching. Yeah, so basically you can tech throws. So when he's going to throw me, I can do A plus D. And as you can see, the window is quite small. It's bigger than most games. but you sort of had to anticipate it a bit. This is what you can do in OSs as well, option selects, but that will get into later. You won't generally want to tech sitting down, because you can get shield that way, and that way you get blown up. But yeah, we'll get into that later. Using jump moves right after an assault, turning it into a quick overhead attack. Yeah, so basically if they're blocking low, you can do like... Okay, you have to do 2C. I don't know if that's an overhead actually. And you get combo from it as well. Yeah, so basically it's an overhead as well. So it's a low invul overhead. Not low invul, but you can avoid lows with it, and it's an overhead, so it's pretty good. If it's shielded, it's generally punishable. A couple of moves aren't. And a couple of moves are actually still plus on shield. Risky attack. Oh yeah, so basically some moves are unsafe on block. So if you do... That's fine, because the frame data allows you to block before he has the chance to throw out a move, basically. And this is punishable. Yeah. That you should be able to figure that one out. If you know anything about fighting games. If you don't, then there's probably really good tutorials on the internet. This is not it. Opponents in God Stun have a difficult time countering attacks. Yeah, so basically if you're in block stun, you can't press buttons. You can buffer buttons, and when you get out of block stun, you can get that move out. I don't know why it wants me to do that. Did I miss something? Oh, you can't see the thing? My guess would be frame traps. So if I put him in block stun and he tries to press a move, I can use another move that creates a gap and it will hit him because he buffered a move out of block stun. So we can't do anything about it after the move has started coming out, and if the gap is small enough, I can hit him before he can hit me. There's great tutorials about that as well on the internet. You can try to guard stun and throw an opponent at close range. Just make sure the opponent guard. Just make the opponent guard against a quick attack, then move in for the throw. Use this against opponents waiting for your passing link. So this is not very clear, but basically the mix-up here is you want to do a move, and if you do throw after a move, you'll get a yellow throw, and that's really easy to tech. But if you do this, then wait and then throw them, you can well, get a normal throw, I guess. So this generally won't work. They will take most of these throws. So the mix-up here is like, that's really hard to react to, compared to like that would frame trap them if they tried to tech the throw. It's a really good mix-up for this game. Guarding against a slow attack gives you the chance to retaliate. Use A or B attacks to rush the opponent. Sure. If you can guard against a slow hitting attack, you'll often gain the initiative to move first and strike back. Use a quick A attack to stop the opponent's onslaught. Yeah, this is basically what you want to do. I don't know what they mean by that, but basically if they stop hitting you, you can hit them, I guess. You can control the direction in which you recover. yeah, so basically, if you're in the air, you can choose to neutral tech, back tech, or forward tech. There are different advantages and disadvantages of these. Neutral tech is what you want to do most of the time, because that's just like, you know where you're going to land, and the opponent's usually going to get normal OK on you, but they're not going to get anything crazy unless they have specific setups. Back tech is a backwards movement, and the GRD system, like the one you see in the bottom middle, if I go backwards, I'll lose GRD, but if I neutral tech, it will stay the same. Forward tech won't actually do anything for grid. It's the same as neutral tech. Forward tech will allow you to get back in if you face someone like Batista or someone that's just trying to keep you out and you just want to go in and do your stuff. That's usually when forward tech comes into play. Other than that, it's like to get out of the corner. If you can tech over them, that opens you up to mix-ups though. It's like if you tech forward, they can actually wait for you to get to the other side, still in the air, run under you and hit you from the same side again. So you have to guess which side to block on. That's the main disadvantage of forward tech. Back tech loses GRD, you lose screen advantage or screen position, and you'll get further away from the opponent. So unless you want that specifically, I wouldn't back tech ever. Unless you really want to get out of some situation or get away from their Orki or something like that, I wouldn't back tech. If you're on the ground and trying to tech, like if you got hard knockdown, if you're just lying there, you can't actually forward tech. You can only forward tech in the air. The rest is fine on the ground. Vorpal. Under certain conditions, you can enter an awakened state called Vorpal. During Vorpal, the GRD gauge flashes on your attack power increases. So you get like 8-9% damage increase. And you'll see like my side of the center down here. The red ones, or pink, purple, whatever ones, will be flashing if I have Vorpal. I will also have a blue glowy state. And this will last until the center white line reaches the top again. So you see the center white line. Once that reaches the top, it will decide who gets Vorpal. If it's equal, both will get Vorpal, which is pretty funny. It happens like once every blue moon. So now both players have Vorpal. This can get really crazy. If I just get a little bit of Vorpal, next time it goes around, the person with the least loses Vorpal and the one with the most gains Vorpal. I can actually show you like what causes this to go around. So if I move backwards, he gains Vorpal and I lose Vorpal. Or like he gains GRD and I lose GRD. If I go forward, the other way around. So this goes for jumping as well. It goes for teching. It goes for assault is a forward movement. So you get a lot from assault. You also gain GRD from throwing. If he doesn't tech, he loses a lot. And if he does tech, you lose a lot. What else? Hitting the opponent will give you GRD. Oh, he loses GRD, I guess. I guess I'll gain a little bit. If you block a move, you also gain GRD a little bit. Shielding properly will give you GRD. Shielding improperly will lose GRD. So like if you green shield and they don't hit your green shield, you will lose GRD. In order to go Vorpal, your GRD gauge needs to be greater than the opponent's when the TS gauge cycles. So basically what I just went through. That gauge will actually slow down if I start comboing. Usually. Maybe it's just like in the end. Weird. It should be doing that. And that's to prevent someone to just doing a long combo and automatically winning GRD. Like the Yakuya, but it does that anyway. If you're being comboed and they have less GRD than you can actually gain Vorpal before the combo ends and wake up reversal or something like that. CS reversal, I should say. But the same goes if you're comboing someone and you have less GRD than the opponent and it's about to turn, it might actually be useful to cut the combo short and focus on GRD instead to win the Vorpal cycle, to deny them the defensive option of CSing. Concentration is where you hold down the D button. This will increase your GRD gauge while lowering the opponent's. So basically, charge. You gain a lot, they lose. 7 GRD blocks, okay, sure. Yeah. If you have a lot of GRD, when you CS, some funky stuff happens, but over course. You can activate force function with B plus C. It's a character specific move that uses your GRD gauge. So if I have GRD and use this, it takes a lot away from me. If I don't have anything, it won't actually take anything away because there's nothing there. Like if I already have nothing, it won't do anything. Some of these moves actually give you GRD when you hit someone with it, like Merkava's. I think there's a couple of others as well. Not all of the force function moves are attacks though, so there's that. And they have different costs as well. You enter a state called Grd Break if you take damage while your shield is up. So basically if you shield incorrectly. If they do an overhead and you shield low, you get broken. If you shield low and they do an overhead, or the other way around, if you shield high and they do a low, you also get grid broken. So basically, if I do mid attacks or overheads, nothing will happen. But if I do a lower move, I get him grid broken. This will deny him from getting Vorpal when the TS gauge reaches the top. So like if I just hit his shield, he gains a lot of GRD. But if I hit him like that, his GRD gauge breaks and he won't be able to get Vorpal from that. The white line next to the GRD gauge, like you can sort of see it down there now, that's to determine like how long until you can actually gain GRD again. When you're grid broken, you can't use assault, you can't use shield. There's probably a bunch of other stuff you can't do as well. So you're actually like really limited in your system mechanics game. So if you have the opponent grid broken, you can assault like a lot more than you usually can, because they can't shield it on reaction because they have no shield. They can only anti-air you. And anti-airs are really slow, so you can like just mix up assault with the frame traps and you'll basically hit them if they try to do anything. Shield is a guarding method that can create distance between you and the opponent. So usually normal shield doesn't do that much for it, but if you manage to green shield, that will push you back a lot more. Especially if they hit your green shield as well. So if you press D while you're being hit, you'll get a green shield. And if they hit your green shield, you'll get one of those shields, like proper shields. Green shield adds 15 frames of like duration for it. So if you green shield and they throw you, or if you shield improperly after the green shield, you get grid broken. So green shield is actually pretty risky against most things. You'll have to like figure out like multi-hit moves, or like if you expect them to just run in 2A, 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 you can green shield the first one, and or the second one, or the third one, and get a proper shield afterwards. But if you don't get the proper shield, they can react to the green shield and throw you. You can use your shield in the air as well to basically jump attacks. Okay. So if I just jump and try to block, I can't block that. I have to actually shield it. That will add 10 frames or so, I think, to his landing recovery. So I can either hit him in the air, or I can hit him when he lands. When he lands is usually better because you get a better combo, usually. Activate Chain Shift by pressing D button twice. Chain Shift is really useful. Like when you have Vorpal, when you're in Vorpal state, you get access to Chain Shift. What Chain Shift does is that it freezes the game, much like a Super Flash. So like during that time, I can press whatever I want, and like I can't move. No one can do anything in that state. Like you can't move, the opponent can't move. So let's say I were to run into him and like press this, and he CS's like there. I can't remove this, can I? Yeah, okay. But let's say he sees this in the background when he CS's. You're like, okay, he just pressed a button. He's trying to get a move out and he's trying to hit me. So he CS's and sees that and thinks, okay, I'll just do an invulnerable move. I'll do a Dragon Punch or whatever. So that can be really useful on Wake Up, because most people want to meter you. Like if they knock you down, they'll want to run up and hit you before you can actually get a move out. That's a really good way to get an advantage after you knock someone down. But if they have Vorpal, they can just run up and CS on Wake Up. That will give them the opportunity to look at what's happening and to see like, okay, is he throwing? Is he pressing a button? Is he just sitting there? And like depending on what he's doing, you can make decisions that give you the advantage. So let's say you have Eltnum versus Merkava. If you play Eltnum and Wake Up CS and you see like, okay, he's not doing anything. Eltnum has a 5A and 2A. I think maybe just the 5A. That's 5 frames startup. And Merkava's fastest move that he has is his 2A, that is 6 frame startup. And since no one has done anything, both players are in neutral. If you have a 5 frame move and the opponent doesn't, you can actually just mash the 5 frame move and you will beat any button that they throw out. That said, throws are 4 frames. So if you press a 5 frame normal and they throw you, the throw will usually win. There are some funky situations with CS where like, if I CS and I press 2A, my 2A will be faster than yours. I don't know how that works or what, like why it happens, but it might just be like confirmation bias or something, but it feels like that can happen. So if you are not the one CSing, mashing becomes a bit more risky, in my opinion. Pressing ABC when your EX gauge is at 100 or more activates Veil Off. Right, so we spoke about this earlier. Veil Off basically acts as if you have 200 meters until the meter is gone. And doing an EX move will deplete the meter a little bit. Okay, I can't really show it if they don't let me. Okay, here we go. So if you have this, you can actually do this. And it will deplete it a little bit. And even if you have like a millimeter left, don't know which is his fastest move. Maybe if I like gain a bit. Oh, it just depletes it? Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. Basically, if you don't have a lot of meter left, you can still do like a 200 meter move. Oh, they want me to hit this? Oh, okay, okay, never mind. I can't read notation. You use less of your EX gauge while Veil Off is active. You can normally use EX moves twice, but in Veil Off you can use it up to 3 times. So basically, if you have 200 meter, it doesn't mean that you have 200 meter in Veil Off. You can do, like, you see, one move doesn't actually take 100 of your 200 meter. Like, you could do 2 and then just do this. So you can spend like a total of 4 or 5 meter during your Veil Off, just because it takes a little bit less than usually. Alright, why does it do specific combos even? Sure. The time counter passes during blackout transitions, such as with EX special attacks effect. This applies when using infinite worth. This also applies when using infinite worth as an infinite worth. This also applies when using infinite worth and infinite worth EXS. And infinite worth EXS. Okay, cool. Right, okay, it pauses. It doesn't pass, it pauses. Right, okay. So basically, if there's 1 second left and they have 3000 health, you can hit them with IW and the second won't actually deplete. There's really good videos on this as well. Like, it pauses, and if you can hit them with infinite worth, and then you get an OK situation before the time actually depletes. All commands are prioritized. For example, if you use forward and down, forward, forward, then forward, down, forward, forward. Right, okay, so basically DPs are prioritized over Hadoukens. So I'll see if I can... Oh yeah, I did it. I'll show you this. So basically if I do Hadouken, I'll get a Hadouken. But if I do 2 Hadoukens, I'll get a DP. Because DPs are prioritized, and forward Hadouken is actually a DP shortcut. So if you do, like, you can do really funky stuff. So the determining factor here is that if you have less than 4 frames between your forward and your down motion, or your forward or whatever motion, it will count those 2 motions as the same. So like if you do forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, and there's less than 4 frames in between them, it will read, okay, this is one motion trying to do something. So if you do forward, down, forward, you'll do a DP, basically. And if you do forward and then Hadouken, if you don't have that gap in between, you'll get the DP shortcut. I'll try to do it cleanly. But basically, just like, you can be walking forward and then you want to do Hadouken, and you'll get a DP. So you'll want to walk forward, then pause a bit, and then do the Hadouken. So you can like do really funky stuff and get DPs anyway. Right, so backdash and forward dash, backstep, button dash, I don't know. If you hold back and press A plus B, so like A and B at the same time, you'll get a dash. This is a shortcut in the game, and it's really useful for dash blocking. So like, excuse me, as soon as you're in dash animation, you can hold down back again, and you'll be blocking through the entire dash animation. Backdashes are invulnerable, but you can't block during a backdash. The only time I wouldn't use button for dashing is from, like, in combos. If I have to time a dash in a combo, I wouldn't use the buttons to do it. I would use double tap. Dash effect. Attacks or jumps while dashing adds a dash effect to the move used, which results in attack with longer reach and boost to the jump distance. Right, okay. I think that's what they mean. So if you do like dash 5A, you'll like slide a bit. Same with dash 2A. And you can do this with the button as well. I wouldn't recommend that though, because it's easier to time an A from a double tap with forward than it is to double tap A to get the A as soon as possible. This also works with throw. Throw, you can actually use button dashing. I actually like doing that, because then you can dash forward A plus B, and then just press D afterwards, and it will read that as A plus D after the dash. So it's like you slide a bit by doing that. If you jump forward, you'll get a normal jump forward, but if you jump forward while dashing, you actually get a dash jump, which is further than a normal forward jump. Same with neutral jump. If you neutral jump while dashing, you actually carry some of the momentum. It's not used a lot. It's like, yeah, it's cool. You can, if you know it, you can use it. Dash guard, dash blocking. This is what I spoke about earlier. So basically you can block while dashing. And Batista here is going to do some CPU charge positioning. It's pretty cool. And my goal is just to dash up to her. I like how it actually wants me to dash into it instead of just dash blocking. So like what I did there was I was blocking while I was dashing forward. It's really important to learn, like practice that a lot. There's a technique that can keep an opponent from coming too close. Using moves that have prolonged hit effect is a good way of keeping opponents at bay. Shall we practice? Sure. Alright, so basically moves with a lot of hits, with a lot of active frames. If you do a move and they move into your move, that's basically what they're talking about. You can keep them out. Whiffing a move though, yeah, they actually go right into that. Strike an opponent easily by attacking immediately after the opponent whiffs. So a whiff would be them missing an attack. She's going to whiff this, and I'll just hit her. Come on. Oh, 3B. So that's called a whiff punish. Could be useful to practice as well. It's usually something that you catch on to as you play, and you learn like different ranges, which moves are good at whiff punishing and which moves are good at like just keeping them out. If your opponent frequently attacks from the air, you can guard or strike them with an anti-air move. Yeah, so basically some moves have a property. Let's say, like, even if you have a move out while jumping, you can't actually hit me during the move, because my move is invulnerable towards only jumping attacks. And that's called an anti-air. Some moves are used as anti-airs, but they don't actually have the head invulnerability, as it's called. But if you say, like, I'm using an anti-air, you mean I'm using a move that is invulnerable against air moves, or air attacks, or jump moves, or jump attacks. Some moves used in the air aren't actually included in the list of moves that you are invulnerable against. So, sorry. So special moves are a common exception. So special moves usually have what most people call dive property, and for that you actually need to be dive invul to beat them. Stuff that are dive invul are usually like DP motion anti-airs, like full invul moves or ADPs or stuff like that. So those are like, if you want to actually like anti-air someone properly, you'll have to use a move that is both head invul and dive invul to deal with special attacks as well. Rushing. Attacking repeatedly regardless of whether or not the attacks are guarded against is called rushing. No one uses this terminology. Mashing is what I would say, I think. Hyde's rush attack Hadouken B with additional Hadouken A is quite powerful. So basically what you can use this for is like if they don't press anything. They shouldn't be pressing here. Yeah, right, so okay. Like he's blocking. I can use a move that's easy to combo from to confirm whether or not the move hit. So like that is really hard to tell, like, oh wait, did I hit him? Should I go straight into a combo or not? But if you press moves, like moves that combo, if they were to hit, you can just keep pressing them. Like it didn't hit, but if I do that hit and it actually combos, so like all of that ends in plus frames. So this is a block string that ends in my advantage as well as a combo. So regardless if he was blocking there or if he got hit, I'm still in advantage. Preferably I want him to get hit, of course. But even if he blocks, it's my advantage. Confirming hits, right, that's basically what I was talking about. Involves being able to physically confirm hits to determine your next move. Right, we'll see what they use for example. So here they want me to 2A, 2B, and they want me to 2C if my first attacks hit. So if I were to just 2A and then determine instantly whether or not the move hit, that's really difficult. Like that takes some grade A reactions. But if I do more moves, I have a longer time to react to whether or not the move hit. So if I do, I could tell easily, like, right, it hit, right, okay. So 2A, 2B is usually all the time you need, because if you have a block string in mind that also combos, you can just like brain dead go into that. Yeah, see, there I didn't confirm it, so she's like, yeah, fuck you. I don't know why 2C is like fail here, but I guess they just want you to learn to confirm hits. Some hits you have to confirm like properly, like Merkava's 5B. If you hit someone with 5B, you want to generally go into 5C, 6C for a combo. But if you hit them counter hit, you have to, or not have to, but you can convert into charge 5C. So that's a different kind of hit confirm. That's a counter hit confirm. A counter hit confirm is sort of easy to do still, even if it's just one move into another move and the second move has to be correct. You can usually tell if someone is pressing a button before you hit them with the 5B. So if you keep an eye out, like, okay, I pressed 5B, but I already know that they pressed a button, then I instantly go into my counter hit confirm. With 2A it's a bit different, because then it's so quick that you can't really react in time to press a decent button after it, so you have to do a couple of more moves to be able to tell. Certain moves like jump attacks, low attacks, projectiles and more possess greater priority over others. Okay. For example, my 3C attack has greater priority over low attacks, so my move could easily overtake moves like 2C. I expect this to be her own moves. Now then, let us try using a high priority attack to avoid the opponent's attack and strike them instead. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, this is not priority. Like, priority is usually... This is... I don't know if it's invul, but she has... she doesn't have a hitbox for high to hit that low, so she technically jumps over his attack. priority moves generally is when you have a system where an A move and a C move cannot trade, for example. So let's say I do an A move and someone throws out a C move, and our hitboxes collide and our hurtboxes are within each other's hitboxes. In this game, you would trade, so both people get hit. But if you have a priority move that says, yeah, this move has priority over A moves, even if you are supposed to be able to trade there, if you have priority, you will be the one hitting the opponent. So that's a calculation that the game does in real time. I wouldn't call this priority moves, I would call this property invul, if anything. So like anti-airs have property invul against air moves. And this would be a low strike invul, I don't know, something. It's not priority in my book at least. Stun frames. The time it takes for you to move after attacking is referred to as stun. Mistranslation, maybe. Yeah, the stun they're talking about here is called recovery in English. Okay. So basically what they're saying is different moves have different recovery and different frame advantage. So recovery would be the time it takes for your move to go back to neutral, where you can press buttons again. Generally after your active frames are over. So let's say my move has 20 frames of recovery and I whiff it. Then my opponent has 20 frames after my move has ended. It cannot hit you anymore to strike me before I can even block. But let's say my move is minus 20. That means if I hit my move on your block and don't do anything after it, you have 20 frames after you get out of block stun to hit me before I can do anything. So let's retry this. 2A, and let's guess it's minus 2 or something. And his 2A is whatever, 5 frames or something. So then he has 2 frames to hit me before I can do anything, which means I can do 2A, and 2 frames passes, and he can do his 5A. But his 5A or 2A is 5 frames. So there's 3 frames where I have time to block. I can also do other things during these minus frames, as they're called. So I'm minus 2, and he has a 5 frame move, which means I have 3 frames where his move is trying to get out, and I can do anything. I can block, I can backdash, I can even DP. So even if his move is quicker than mine, mine is invul. So I can just DP while being minus. I can also stuff like that. Now he could recover before because my veil off wasn't quick enough to strike him during his recovery. But I can do stuff like that. And my 2C, let's say it's minus 7 or something. So I press 2C, and before I can do anything, he presses 2A, which is 5 frames, and my move being minus 7, during these 7 frames where I can't do anything, his 2A has time to strike me. So that's called a punish. So when you hear someone say like, that's a sick punish, they mean they struck someone during the recovery of their move because their move had bad advantage on block. So it's disadvantages on block to the point where the opponent could strike them. If that makes any sense. After a move hits, the amount of stun time between the attacker and the defender is called stun span. Again, no one says that. They did their best translating, but there's different terminology in English. The fighter that takes a longer time to recover will be at a disadvantage. Yeah. Stun span differs depending on the move used, so let us see this in action. the opponent will do a vertical jump after they guard your attack. We will do the same after guarding their attack. Right, so this is a good way of checking advantage, or frame advantage as it's called. So like, if I hit him, and I jump, and he also jumps, you'll see like, his jump is way earlier than mine. So that means I'm a minus. Like my move is minus on block. But if I were to do this, wait, what's plus? I can do this. It's like if he gets hit by a fireball, I'm really plus. And like at different ranges, it might change. But like I can put him in block stun, and if I can get out of my attack stun or like my recovery before his block stun ends, I'm plus. Crouching a slight disadvantage, right? 6B, a lot of disadvantage. Standing, increase C, so charge C. Slight disadvantage. Yeah, sure. Puzzling to reduce stun duration. So this is called rebeat or reverse beat. So if I do standing C, 3C, block, I can't because it's 2 minus. His move is quick enough to hit me during recovery. But if I do 5C, 3C, and then 2A, my 2A has less total animation time than the recovery of 3C. So even if I hit 3C on block and I should be minus, I can reduce the amount of frames I'm in recovery by using a move that has less total frame animation than the recovery of the move I hit him with. Let's do that again. So I put him in block stun and I'm minus. But if I do 3C, I'm so minus that his move is quick enough to punish me. So even if I try to block there, he will hit me. But if I do 2A after my 3C, the 2A has less total animation time than the recovery of 3C. So I can do and whiff the 2A and be safe. I can also do hit him with 2A. Oh wait, I didn't read that. If I hit him with 2A, I'm still as minus as 2A is. So rebeats and going to 2A on block sort of fits the same purpose. Rebeats can be plus though. So if you put them in a lot of block stun and then use 2A, you can get out of recovery before they get out of block stun. Hides 5C does that. Only if you chart it. If your attack hits the opponent just when they are using their move, the hit is treated as a counter hit, which causes pushback or a longer stun than usual. So, from what I've heard, counter hit doesn't actually let you do different combos other than from the first move. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know. Maybe. Note that 5A will not trigger a counter hit. Yeah, so A moves can't counter. You have to hit them with a special move, or a B move or C move. In any case, counter hits offer a great opportunity to attack. Now then, let us try to counter hit the opponent. Oh yeah, okay. So what they didn't tell me here is that if you counter hit someone in the air, like most moves will have enough hit stun to let them land, or just about land, before attacking. So if I were to hit him like before he threw out a move and I wouldn't get the counter hit, he could actually tech like right out of the air, and I have to be really good to confirm from it. But if I do 3C and he gets counter hit, I can wait until he hits the ground almost before I can attack him. So that's a really good way of knowing when you can convert from air hits. Let's try that again. So there, I did counter hit her, and she techs really high. But there you can see she almost lands. Yeah. Okay. While Infinite Worth EXS is powerful, it is not without its downsides. If used outside of Vorpal, it will cause you to enter Grd Break. Yeah, so basically what we talked about earlier with shielding incorrectly and getting grid broken. If you're not in Vorpal when you use your A plus B plus C plus D EX version of the IW, you will get grid broken. That's why you usually want to use it when you know you can kill. Because you put yourself at a disadvantage after a move if you don't. Damage scaling. Not much to say about this. So moves have different damage scaling. If you start out with a lot of A moves, the next moves will do less damage. But if you start out with a C move, the next moves will do a lot of damage compared to if just hitting them normally. So like every 2A will do less damage because the damage scaling of the moves during the combo reduce the damage of the moves used in the combo. So the less moves you can use, the better damage usually over time. So if you can have a combo with only C moves, generally that will do a lot more damage than a combo with only A moves. Not only because the A moves do less damage from the beginning, but because the A moves scale the damage more. So this example is 5A, 5B, 5C. So 5C usually does 690 damage. But after 5A, 5B, it only does whatever the difference is between 548 and 948, 400 damage. So from 690 down to 400 if I use 5A, 5B. But if I use 5B, 5C, it does the difference between 550 and 984, so like 30 damage more. Something like that. So the A move actually takes away some of the damage, even if you've only used 3 moves. Bounce limits. So basically you have a combo system in UNIST where you have 3 bounces. And bounces include hard knockdowns and wall bounces. Also so-called bounce moves like Nana says charge 2C or charge J2C, which slams you into the ground. So this would use one bounce. And picking them up from the floor like that is called OTG, or off the ground, for reference. Crouching 2C. Increase. Okay, so 2C. Because he lands before my charge C hits, I use one of my ground bounces. So 2C charge 5C uses a ground bounce. And then you do force function, B plus C, which causes them to bounce off the wall, like that. And even if I try to hit him, after the second force function, I can't, because the combo just dies. It's programmed into the game. After 3 wall bounces or floor bounces, the combo dies. I did that. Okay. Some characters are able to use overhead attacks on the ground. Mixing attacks by changing them midway from overhead to low. Be wary of overhead attacks while in crouching guard. Yeah, so basically there are overhead. If I were to not block high, of course it doesn't. So that's an overhead. I have to react to that and block or mash out of it. Yeah. Overheads are usually really slow. Orias is one of the most difficult to block. Cross-ups. This game has cross-up protection, so this won't be as important, but some moves get around that. So, cross-ups occur when an attack is done while jumping over an opponent. Cross-ups can be guarded against by entering the directional buttons forward or backward. Basically, you can block forward if they are behind you. So if I block this direction, I can still block that move. Some things get around this, like if I jump over you and CS, it will reset the position. So if you try to block this way when I'm on this side, I can still hit you because I reset the position by jumping over you and CSing here. Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot, but it's something to take into account. Merkava can actually gimmick this a bit. So if you're like, okay, no matter which side he's on, I can block whichever side you can. I want. Isn't always true, because Merkava can jump over you, fly back to the original side and hit you from that side. Because he jumped from the left side, you still have to block right when he's on the left. You can't just like, oh, he jumped over me, so I can block whichever direction. If he goes back, you still have to block it correctly. You are unable to take any action beside guarding while being attacked. This state of repeatedly guarding attacks is sometimes called block string in English. Japanese people use guard for just holding like typical Dragon Ball just guarding moves, and blocking in Japanese is actually parrying, so like third strike parrying. So basically, he's going to hit me, and I just block. If I were to stop blocking, I get hit. It's that simple. Although, if I block high, I can still get hit by lows. So if I try to do a reversal here, my reversal has a standing motion. So I can still get hit in block stun, even if I'm blocking, like, if I block high in block stun, I can still get hit low, as well as get hit high if I'm blocking low. Teching stun. If you succeed in teching the opponent's move, throws, I'm guessing, you will be able to move before the opponent. This initiative will give you the opportunity to stop an opponent's rush. Again, I don't know that terminology. The opponent will try to rush you with crouching B after being teched, so counter with a standing C after you teched. So basically you have like something like 8 frames advantage, but during those 8 frames they're also invul, so if you like were really close when you teched and you tried to 2A, your 2A might actually just whiff, because both players are invul before those 8 frames have passed. 7 or 8 frames, I don't know exactly. But you're still at advantage. Guarding can block most attacks except throws. Teching will help against throws, but will leave you open to attacks. So it would be efficient to mix throws with normal attacks. The opponent will mix a normal attack with throw after dashing. So let us see if you can successfully guard against it. Yeah. I'm not gonna list this. Okay. So basically, you don't want to try to tech throws unless you can tech the throw. That's my advice. Since throws do a low damage, usually less than 2000, and getting hit by a 2A will lead to like 2600, the risk reward is actually in your favor if you just take the throw. Like eat the throw is what I mean, like don't even take it. So if I were to just like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. Like he can throw me a couple of times before it becomes even like worth it for me to take the throw. So like unless the throw is going to kill, I really don't have to bother taking. Because what's it gonna do? Like I'm already in disadvantage. He's got a mix up on me, so might as well just like defend against the thing that does the most damage, right? You can hold forward an A plus B, then time D to do a moving throw. Yeah, we did this earlier. So basically you hold forward and press A plus D, which initiates a dash, and then blink it. So like as soon as you press A plus B, you press D. You can also do this with double tap forward A plus D. So like you can also do it with 6B A plus D. So you cancel your 6B into, yeah, it's not as consistent. A whiffed low attack is a technique in which you do a low attack upon landing. Oh, okay. A whiffed low attack. No, that's not what it's called. So basically, empty jump low. That's what you want to do. I don't get it. Okay, I whiff a move into the low. Yeah, that's exactly what I said to do. What is he doing? I don't know how its timings. Okay, it just wants me to do it. Frame perfect. Basically. So what that does is make them think you're going for an overhead, because jump moves are overheads generally. And when you whiff the move, like you do it so late that the animation starts, but you don't have time to actually get your actives going, and then land, you will get the landing recovery of the move instead of the landing recovery of the jump. Generally, moves have lower landing recovery than just jumping, I think. But the thing you want to do actually is just like make them think you're going for an overhead and hit them with a low, quick low, preferably. Assault is... Like, assault is usually where you see this going on. This sort of mix-up. Yeah, so basically like that. Jump attacks from area assault can be cancelled. Yes, we learned this. You can do an overhead combo. I cannot play hide. I am so bad. Yeah, so basically you can do 2 overheads in a row. You can use dash to continue your guard stun. By holding your attack and dashing in closer to the opponent to attack them into a guard stun. This is very useful technique. It utilizes advantage you have, of course. Yeah, okay, so basically just like you see that short dash? That's basically what they want you to do, so like so the advantage of that is that generally people expect you to do 2A into a frame trap, so 2A into 5C or something. And when they expect that, they will be just sitting there blocking. And when they're blocking, you can go in and dash in and do another 2A. Because they don't want to press buttons because they know the frame trap is coming. No, the frame trap is coming. So you get to reset pressure and get some screen advantage, and you just like get to continue the pressure. Don't do that if they're mashing, basically. Um, 2A dash rush gains priority. Yeah, so basically if they hit you, they hit you. And if you do a frame trap, you can get more damage. If you input Tatsu-D 214D while guarding against an attack, you will activate Guard Thrust. Guard Thrust is not something you want to overuse. It's usually good against mix-up situations where you don't want to deal with the mix-up. So if someone has a tight block string where like you can't actually press a button, the block string is so tight that even if you shield it, you can't press a button, and then they have a mix-up during the block string. A good example would be Batista. So if Batista puts you in a jam explosion, it has a lot of block stun. Then she can run in and do like 6-6C into a high-low mix-up, like a true 50-50 high-low mix-up. And if you don't want to hold that, you don't want to deal with the fact that she's doing a mix-up on you, you can, during the block stun, input this. So you just push them away, basically. If they bait this and block it, it's like blocking Veil Off, I think, like -13, something like that. Sure counter is an assured counter against the opponent after guarding. Punish is the word. Punish. I'm just gonna check something real quick. Punish. Yeah, okay, good. Cool. Yeah, so basically some moves are punishable. And like, if I'm being slow here, it won't actually do anything, but I can press this button before I can actually do anything. So like, and that's called buffering. Like you hear how soon I press that button. Like that's too soon, but it's like half a second before. You can buffer things really early in this game. So punishing isn't that difficult, you just know what move and when. Beginning a combo with a stronger attack deals greater damage. Yeah, this is damage scaling AO. So, which means it's better to punish with a good move. So if you know your punish, let's say, oh yeah, and DP, good. So that won't do a lot of damage if I continue the combo. Okay, I need to block it. Yeah, so if you block a DP like that, you generally want to start the combo with a move that has good damage scaling to begin with. So know your so-called punish moves. Usually they're on your C button, and sometimes they're even like special moves. When you use an EX special attack or infinite worth, the screen blacks out temporarily and an in-game TIM stops for a moment. So yeah, basically when you use a move, you get an EX flash, and that flash stops the timer for a second. And infinite worth EXS actually stops the timer for the duration of the move. There are 3 types of quick recoveries: aerial, grind, and emergency. Aerial can recover forward, upwards, or backwards, so forward, neutral, and backwards. Ground and emergency only have upwards and backwards, so neutral and back tech. Another word of warning: if you recover backwards on a ground or emergency recovery, your grid gauge will go down. I think that's true for air as well, I'm not sure. Let's practice. Actually, let me see. Oh, actually no. That's good to know. So emergency? I don't know why that's a specific thing. I'm pretty sure that's it. That should be it. What do you want from me, game? Is there a demo? No? Is it delay tech? Huh? Okay. So basically, emergency tech is you delay it the hell out of it. Good to know, I guess. No. Ogazimi, or what some call as wake-up attacks. No one says that. Or when you time your attack over a downed opponent. The variations to an Okazeme, for example, an Okazeme can be where you attack an opponent using a quick recovery. Yeah, so Okazeme or Oki is basically your main way of capitalizing on getting a knockdown. So getting a knockdown means that they hit the ground, and if he tries to 2A as soon as he can after getting knocked down, I'm in advantage. Like, I can do whatever I want before he can tech. So I have the time to throw out a move that actually beats his 2A. And I get a combo from it. So if you get knocked down, don't press buttons. Like, just block. Just block. That's all you need to know. If you get knocked down, or if you get comboed, tech out of the combo and just block. Teching out of combos, we didn't talk about that. This game you hold a button. So if you get hit and launched into the air, you hold the button and you will tech out of the combo as soon as it's possible. It's not like GG where you had to mash to attack, which is ridiculous in this day and age, I think. Just hold a button. You cannot properly attack against an Okazeme. So what will be crucial is knowing how to guard against an Okazeme. Yeah, so basically what I said. He's going to try to hit me. If I try to press a button, he's going to hit me, so just block. Reversals are when you attack the moment your hit stun ends. Usually a reversal is spoken about as a move with invul. So a reversal move would be like a dragon punch like this. Because it's invul. Am I just supposed to hit him? Okay. Am I supposed to get hit? Oh, counter focus him. Alright, okay. So wake up DP. That's what this is. And I can't even do it. I suck at this. I'm good at this game. Okay, just tech. It's easier if you know when you tech. So because that move is invul, even if he does a meaty, which is hitting me when I'm teching out of a combo, I can still beat it because I literally can't get hit out of that. Backstepping, back dashing is what we call it. Can also avoid Okazumi. Yeah. Same thing. I literally cannot be hit during that. Also works in the corner. Veil off is a reversal. I did it, didn't I? Okay, sure. So basically, I can't get hit there. If I'm grid broken, blocking will get my grid back faster, is what it said. Jumping attacks blocked by shield cannot be cancelled. So even if like normal moves like that can be cancelled if I block it, if I shield the first one, you can't do anything. So I get a guaranteed punish pretty much every time, but some moves are different. But know that they can't actually cancel the move if you shield it. Using standing shield or a crouching shield while guarding is called a green shield. It actually is. The green shield is a success if you can guard and attack with it. So what they mean is, if I'm in block stun and I press it, there's a green blob coming up. A successful green shield would be if I block the second to last move, because then they hit my green shield and it becomes a normal shield. And that takes away 3 frames of their advantage on block. So it can actually net you punishes where you otherwise couldn't. You can use chain shift to cancel normal moves or special attacks. Use this to reduce risk after your slower attacks. So basically if I use a move that's punishable, I don't know if that's punishable, but let's say that it is. I can do this. And I'm plus because he's in block stun. So if he's in block stun and I CS, I come out of CS in neutral. Even if I was in a move before and I CS, I come out in neutral. So if I put him in block stun and CS, that means that I'm plus as much as he's in block stun. It's a really good offensive tool. Some whiffed special attacks can be cancelled with chain shift. A lot of whiffed special attacks can be cancelled with chain shift. So if I do like... That was not what I meant to do. That's a really good way of getting in. They want me to do this. The reason they want me to use that is... I don't know. But the thing with timing this is... Can I restart it now? You want to time the chain shift with the active frames. So like, as soon as the move comes out, that's where I can cancel it. Some moves you can cancel earlier, but generally you want to cancel while it's active. This one, okay, so you can cancel the sword stab on the B version. You can actually cancel EX versions as well. What do you mean fail? Okay, I need to whiff it, sure. Thank you. Veil-Off has a few invincible frames that can be used that cause a shockwave blowing the opponent back. If the shockwave hits, the opponent is forced into Grd Break. Yeah, so if the opponent has not got Vorpal, you can Grd Break them, and if they have Vorpal, you can strip their Vorpal by using Veil-Off. So even if they have Vorpal and you Veil-Off them, they lose Vorpal and become Grid Broken. You will gain a power boost while in Veil-Off. Yeah, so basically Vorpal gives you 10%, oh it's 10% I guess, damage boost, and Veil-Off gives you a 20% damage boost. So combine the stack. Yeah, more damage. I'm actually pretty hungry. I'm gonna check how many of these are left. Okay, 2 more. Then I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna have a set with Luffe and get my run back from DF. Crosscast Veil-Off is when you Veil-Off, so like that, when you have them in a combo. To do this, you need to be in Vorpal, so like blue glow state, and you see the red there is glowing and flashing. That's needed to perform this. This is usually used to kill people because you spend all your meter and your Vorpal, so it's a very high cost, but you also get a lot of damage from it. Okay, you can remove your Grd Break state by activating Veil-Off. So if I'm Grid Broken, I'm gonna... Please. There we go. So if I Veil-Off now, I'm back to normal and I can get the next grid cycle. This is useful when you have a lot of grid and you're still Grid Broken. Then you can Veil-Off to get back into the game of the Grid War. Passing the expert course, you have proven yourself to be a true master of fighting. I don't know about that. If you wish to pursue the level beyond, I recommend that you move on towards our veteran courses. Yeah, I think this is where the tutorial gets really interesting. Because here you have stuff like dash block, like proper dash blocking. I can actually show you this. This is pretty cool. The shit's just gonna mash lasers like crazy. Yeah, okay. You're just supposed to dash block. Yeah, okay. Block. And I'm actually buffering the dash during the block stun. So I'm buffering the dash and the block from block stun. So I'm actually like blocking all the time, but I'm actually dashing between them as well. Oh yeah, 2,300, so worth it. But yeah, I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna be back with some games. See you guys. So today I'm going to take a rest of the tutorial and just go through it, say what I think about it, and give my thoughts on how to use this stuff. I've already started a bit here, but I'll just go through it. Dash God, or more known as dash block, is inputted by going forward and A plus B, then going back to 4 or 1. So just forward dash into blocking basically, and you'll block for the entirety of the duration of your dash as well. So if you have a long dash, you can be blocking for a long distance, but if you have a short dash, you'll have to do it more often. Yeah. So you have to be pretty quick from when you input the dash into when you're blocking, because anytime you're not blocking, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to frame traps. That's basically it. Smart steer is when you mash A and you get like an auto combo. To get that, you can use that to reuse moves. So standing B to standing C would mean that I can't go back to standing B again. Nothing happens until it resets the recovery of the move. But if I start with B, and then go into Smart Steer later in the combo, I can reuse B, standing B, in the combo by pressing A twice, because the second move in the A string is 5B. So if I do 5B, 5C, 5AA, I get 5AB in the end anyway, even though I've already used the move. There's a couple of ways to use that. Usually it's when you started with the move, like you started with the 5B for example, or in Merkava's case 4B, and you want to use that again in the combo, then you can just use 5AA instead of 5AB. Scaling is applied to the opponent's recovery state, so basically the more hits you do, the more or the quicker the opponent will tech out of your combo. So if you do 5 moves, it will generally be easier for them to drop out of the combo than if you do 4 moves, or 3 moves, or 1 move. And then different moves have different types of proration, or different types of scaling. So you have the C moves generally being very lenient. So if you do a C move, it doesn't take away that much time before they tech. But if you do an A move, then generally they will reduce the time it takes for them to take out of a combo by more. There's more to it. There's like percentage scaling and there's set scaling, but it's too much. Yeah, I did it. Let's just use the next one. So to put that into an example, if you do 2A, 2B, 2C into a combo, that will have usually will have different types of combos you can do over if you do 2C into a combo, because the 2A and the 2B took away a little bit of the recovery time of the opponent, so they can tech out of your combo sooner than they would have if you only started with 2C, because you use more moves and you use moves that have more scaling, like A moves and B moves over C moves. That's why 5C is usually a very good combo starter. Also because it does a lot of damage. Using the same move twice. I think this is passing link again. If you use certain moves twice during a combo, your opponent can recover immediately. This is because there's a limit on how many times you can use the same move. Depends. This often applies to moves that lift opponents into the air, or moves that have an advantage against recoveries. Yeah, so it's not a restriction on how many you can do. I think I've never had that affect any combo I do, but it will scale incrementally or exponentially, I don't remember which, more the more times you use a special. And it's a lot. Like if you do the second one, then you're gonna have a hard time comboing. Delay cancel combos. Oh joy. Using delay cancel as part of an aerial combos may give you the opportunity to adjust the lift on your opponent to extend combos. So basically, when you hit someone in the air, you can delay a move to make them fall more than they would have if you didn't delay it. If you hit them and then instantly do it, they'll go higher. But if you hit them and delay, they'll have time to go lower before the next blow hits, and so on. Oh, I hate this. Okay. Could they just give me the notation? Oh, 3B, okay. I've never done this before. Yeah, okay, that was fine. Fuzzy Gods. Ooh, loading time. Are used against random mixed attacks. Random is a very weird choice of words, but okay. This technique requires you to change your god position, so if you got high or low, accordingly. Overhead attacks are slower than lower attacks, not always, so the timing will be different. Because of this, you can safely guard against overhead attacks by switching your guard from crouching to standing guard. Yeah, Liddy is an exception here, but generally you can go... So when the move would have hit, I go to standing guard. Because if it hits and I go into standing guard, I'm still safe because I'm in block stun. So I'm waiting for the 6-6B to hit, and then I go into standing guard. That's basically what Fuzzy is. You wait for the thing that's the first threat to happen, and then you go into a thing that beats the second thing. There's also Fuzzy setups, but that's completely different. Fuzzy Counter is a technique used against slower attacks in a combo. It's simple, just guard fast attacks while striking against slower attacks. Fuzzy Counters is useful against a jump attack mixed with a whiffed low attack. Yeah, Fuzzy Mash is usually what we call it. Oh, that was bad. Okay, I have to block it. Never mind. So, same thing here. I'm waiting for the J whatever to hit, and hitting him as soon as it would have hit. Ultimately. That should have been fine. Oh, too soon. I'm just blocking low. Too soon. Too late. Okay, there we go. It's finicky, because it's basically like doing a link. There's a certain window that you have to press in for that to work. You actually have a few extra frames after being grabbed to do a tech, yeah. So remain calm and carefully input the tech when you're about to be thrown. These frames could allow you to make the right call against mixed attacks. Mix-ups, I guess. When the opponent comes close, tech the opponent a bit after you got into a crouching guard position. This would allow you to guard against both normal attacks and throw. So I'm waiting for him to get into range to throw. I'm waiting for him to 2A me, and I won't try to tech until he has 2A'd me. Yeah. And it doesn't matter which sort of tech motion you do there. You can do OSs. I was doing OSs for the first two. And it accepts it as long as you're just taking the throw correctly. Some special attacks and throws can grab opponents with their guards up. Yeah. 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 When facing those kind of moves, the frames to tech increases. Oh, okay. To keep a level head and carefully input your tech against them. Yellow throw, basically, is this. Stay wary and get yourself blah 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 blah. So this also applies to hit stun, not only block stun. Note that aside from normal throws, Waldstein Rotate A 360 and Gordo's Command Throw are both able to grab opponents with a guard up and not get yellow throw. Yeah. So this is way easier. Yeah. No attacking. Also you should say break guard, I guess, or break throws. Timing your tech too early will put you into a failed state, meaning you'll enter a temporary state where you can't tech, or break throws, I guess. If you try to, it won't input, so keep that in mind. I think what they mean here is throw reject miss, or TRM. So if they put me in block stun, and I try to take a throw, like I did last time, and they throw me, if it's 15 frames or whatever after I try to tech the throw, it won't let me. It will show a counter hit state and I won't be able to tech the throw. So that's a way for you to throw someone that's OSing, for example. You won't be able to tech. The opponent will dash and try to throw you. Use 1 AD and prepare a tech with a crouching shield. Yeah. Once done, the opponent will switch to a throw. So your tech will miss and you will be able to experience the state for yourself. Oh, okay. Before being grabbed, right. This is actually difficult. What? Okay, with the shield. There we go. Don't know why you had the shield there, but okay. Crouching A with teching. Hold 1 plus A, then time D to do a tech against throws. You can also just do 2 AD. The downside of 2 AD is that you're not blocking. This allows you to set up a counter attack against base. Yeah, whatever. Basically, you time 2A into a tight string. Oh, that was unfair. So this is mostly used by me, at least, to take back my turn. If people are trying to tick throw me too much, if they leave unnecessary gaps for me to green shield or stuff like that, this can be useful. I usually just do 2 AD though, because I'm already taking a risk, might as well do the easy stuff. Crouching A with a tech setup won't work against assault. To use an anti-attack setup, yeah, so 3 AD, I guess. 3 CAD, yeah, okay. So this will be different for different characters. So the idea here is to wait for him to have already assaulted or thrown me, because otherwise I can get hit out of the 3C. And what I did there was I pushed 3C and then AD. That way I don't get 2A or anything stupid like that. Backstep with teching, so basically backdash and then blink into D. So 4A plus D, or 4A plus B, and then D. Jump attack with teching. So this one is, I think, the one that everyone has a lot of trouble with. So see how well I can get along with it. Whiffing at tech can prove to be quite dangerous. So let's try jumping attack with teching. You can set up your tech and safely create a distance by jumping. Note that it's a bit more effective if the jump A is angled downward. So yeah, so it's character specific. Depending on which character you have, you might want to do different moves. You'll use a jump attack with a tech. Yeah, crouching A or assault. Keep your guard up in range. Wait before inputting 7-1A. Hold A and then time D. Yeah, seems pretty straightforward. Yeah. So basically you're jumping and then going back to 1A. So if he put you in block stun, you'll block the first attack, try to jump, but you can't because you're in block stun, then go back to guarding. And if they assault, you get jump A, and if they throw you, you take it. Veil off with teching. Attack setups with teching will lose to quick attacks. Try using Veil off with teching to tech throw while countering attacks with Veil off. So if they frame trap you, for example, or delay meaty you, then you can use Veil off if you don't want to have to deal with that because you're invul. So make sure you have meter and just... Excuse me? That's not a good way to do that. I'd prefer doing 2 ABC plus D. So what I do is 2, press ABC to Veil off, and then tap onto D, so I get A plus D as a part of it. Because if you do that, then you get IWEX if you have low health, which you don't want. Unless you want to waste all your meter and become grid broken. I usually do that OS with Veil off if I'm grid broken already, because it takes me out of Grd Break. That actually shows how long ago I did the last one of these. Never mind. Assault and whiff attacks. Jump attacks have a shorter stun frame recovery than assaults. Yeah, okay. So if you assault and you whiff a move, you have a shorter recovery than if you just assault and didn't do anything. Oh. Excuse me? Oh. Whiff. Oh, that's what they want. Oh yeah, okay. So whiff, empty jump low. Some characters use this. The ones I play don't usually do this since they don't have very good 2A lows, but if you have a 2A low, this could be pretty good. It's not a great mix-up, it's fuzzyable, it's almost reactable. Anti-air with attacking is very powerful move that can stop throws, blah blah blah. So this is basically how to stop someone from OSing. 2A, 2C, backdash, 6B. Okay. Excuse me? Okay, I have to... I'm so bad at this. Why do I have to crouch A? Like, or why do I have to crouch C? Because that beats the thing. Oh, that's what I thought they meant that in a complete series, and I was so confused. Yeah, so bait throws with backdash, also very character specific. Hyde is so good at that because he has one of the best backdashes in the game. Merkava, they have time to throw and then probably punish you. So, character specific. Delay, cancel, and stop counters. Words. You can cancel normals and special attacks after they hit. Delaying your input to cancel is often referred to as delay cancels, or yeah, sure. You can use this to stop an opponent from attacking you during your rush or during your pressure. For example, Hyde's passing link 5A, 5B prevents opponents from attacking because they're forced into a gun stun. It's tight. They can't press anything in between. But if you delay input 5B, you can create a small frame where the opponent doesn't have to block. They can do other stuff. So, frame traps, basically. They couldn't do anything there, but if I delay it, I get a counter hit. Nothing, counter hit. So that's called stagger in this game, or people call it stagger, or stagger pressure, when you delay moves to create frame traps where there usually isn't. And that's used to beat people OSing, mostly. If you do that and they don't OS, you can use it to bait green shields. If you have moves like Merkava 5B, 5C, you can do 5B. Oh, that's a bad example. Maybe like 5C 214A. You could do 5C and delay the 214A. It's very safe because the only answer they have is jumping, and that loses against if I don't delay it. So it has a pretty good stuff going on there. So it's not only against OSs. And it's not always true as well. Stun or hit stun or block stun lasts longer after an attack hits than when it's blocked. Meaning attacks that barely connect into your combo have some open frames in Grd. Use this to your advantage to stop attacks with your combo. So if I cancel 5A to 5C, it looks like a normal combo, but if the opponent is guarding it, it's not tight, so they can press stuff in between no matter what I do. Like if I press as soon as possible, it's still not tight. So some moves have natural frame traps. So no matter what you do, if you put those two moves after each other, there will be a gap. On defense, you can use this to DP through. If you know that they have a habit of doing 5A, 5C, you block the 5A and then DP the 5C, because you know that there will be or you think you know that there will be a gap. You can smart steer into a standing A, meaning you can't cancel it, but if you jump, you can do it consecutive times. So if you're putting them in block stun, that's not the same as putting them in hit stun. If you put them in hit stun and jump, you jump, cancel your move. But if you put them in block stun and try to jump, you can't jump until the move has recovered. So you can use this to not get smart steer. If you just mash A, you get the auto combo, but if you try to jump in between, you get 5A, 5A, 5A. This is used to mix up your pressure. So if you do like... that can be more difficult to block than a normal tick throw. Or you can do frame traps, or you could use it to mix up where the mix-up is. So if you only go in 5A and throw, then the opponent knows, okay, 5A, it's probably going to be a frame trap or a throw. But if you do 5AA throw, then they have no reference for the timing of when the throw is coming. So it becomes harder to break it. So this is basically hit confirm. Yeah, I didn't read it, probably should have, but I think it meant if you hit someone, you can go into a move that combos better, something like that. So if you do like 2A, 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 if you hit them, don't keep doing 2A, just go for 2C or 5C or whatever high does. Or if you have like a string that you do like 2A, 2B, 2C, 5C, that maybe is a combo in and of itself. So you don't have to adapt anything, but there's different stuff you can do. If you use shield properly, you'll be able to reduce the stunned frames from guarding. So if you shield something properly, use the purple one, you reduce the hit stun, or block stun in this case, by 3 frames. So if you have a move that's -5, you can use shield to make it -8. And you can use this on moves that aren't punishable to make them punishable, like Nanase 2A. If you shield 2A and throw her, it actually punishes her, like straight up. Because it becomes so minus that you can punish her. That said, it's not a good idea, but it works. Some combos stop some combos by countering from a successful shield. The opponent will dash and do a crouching A, so guard with shield and counter with crouching A. So what's happening here is I'm getting green shield, and that does not reduce block stun at all. In fact, it adds block stun. So if you green shield and whiff it, like they don't hit the green shield, you will be in 15 additional frames of block stun. So if you do 2A and green shield the 2A, instead of being -2, for example, it instead becomes +13. Because it's 15 frames -2. Because you're in 15 frames more block stun, the advantage afterwards changes. This is why you can throw people green shielding on reaction, usually, if you're in range and if it's a high block stun move or whatever. So keep that in mind, that even if you shield someone, doesn't always mean you're plus. You can counter with an invincible move after a blackout. Knockdown? Maybe. The opponent will always attack after blackouts. Oh, do they mean... black? I think they mean super flash. Yeah. So if the opponent does a move that has a super flash or CS's, you can react to the flash itself and buffer a move during the flash. So in here, he does... Okay, I can't even do that. He does a move that has a super flash. So during the super flash, the last, whatever, 15 frames or something, I can buffer a move out of it. That was too soon. I think you can buffer it, but maybe you can't. But just press the thing as soon as you can. Aerial quick recovery can move the opponent forward, so they will often try to escape to the center of the stage while using it. Moving back to your main position. Oh yeah, so if you put someone in the air and they forward tech, which you can only use in the air, you can run under them and get a cross under. I think that's what they're trying to say.
Success.
I'm not going to go into that too much, but let's say I did 2cc with Merkava and they teched out of the air forward, and I did 2cc again, I would be hitting them from the other side. So if they're far away and high up in the air and they tech forward, you can run in under to make them be on the other side, and that's not covered by cross-up protection either. If you use a jump attack as your Okizeme and aim to hit low, okay, safe jumps. So remember what we said before about jump attacks having shorter recovery than assault? You can use this as well in neutral jumps. Generally, jump moves have really short recovery, like 2 frames or 4 frames or something like that, after landing. So if you do the move, so the active frame comes out right before you land, you can have a move that hits the meaty and then recovers really quickly. So even if they try to DP you, for example, let's say they have a 5-frame DP, and you do jump A. Jump A does 1 active frame, and they DP, so they're invincible. So your frame moves, your move whiffs, your frame moves, your move whiffs, and they start their DP animation. So you land, and with 2 frames of landing recovery, you will actually have recovered and be able to block before their DP will have come out. Okay, that's bad. I think it's instant. Okay. Oh, this is something else. Oh wow, people watching. I didn't expect this. Hey yo, what's up? DHE about to get the Impossible OS, that one, yeah. I'm a newbie into this game. Should I pick Merkava, Katsuki, Hyde, or Lin? Depends. Who do you like? Everyone's good. I like Merkava, so you should pick him, I guess. These are all good picks for beginners. I'm leaning towards Merkava and Akatsuki. Very good picks. Akatsuki is a lot of fun. Strike is more neutral in this game. Akatsuki is OS, basically third strike Ken. With good projectile, Merkava seems busted. People usually pick Akatsuki because he's familiar. Yeah, makes sense. Tier lists are very contested in this game. Yeah, it's balanced, exactly. Yeah, mid-tierish, sounds about right. Akatsuki top tier. According to event hubs, yeah. Stay clear. Basically, if anyone says anyone is top tier in this game, they're lying. Like, there's not one character that's better than all the others. You can have Seth up there, you can have Byakuya up there, you can have Fonan up there, you can have Wagner up there. They're all really good, but I wouldn't say one is better than the others because matchups are very different and you can have a lot of stuff going very weird. Don't know anything about the ST characters. Yeah, it's not that much to know. They're not that different. Mika's very standard. Wagner's pretty standard. Fonan is a bit weird, but once you get to know that, okay, everything's either low or she has to do some fancy stuff, then she doesn't become that scary. Still very good, very good. She can be really scary in good hands, but the character in its like basic form, don't have to worry that much. Yeah, link to Discord, nice. Hi, Mossan. Where do I find the list of channels? Yeah.
Success.
Let's see here. Next challenge, please. Okay, so 2C, jump, assault, JC unblock. Don't think that's what they meant. Oh, okay. Retry. I can do this with Merkava, no problem. Because that failed because I didn't have active frames out. I need to be higher up. Oh, that's too high. Oh, why can I not reset? Just let me reset. There you go. Because I have active frames out, and then I land and recover before his reversal hits me. Back on track. Chain shifts that can be whiffed as an okizeme allows you to attack and guard against invisible attacks at the same time. Okay, so special moves in general, not all of them, but in general, can be CS'd on whiff. So if you do a special move and don't hit anything, you can still CS it. So if I meet you with this, with a 2-2A in this case, and then chain shift it, I can react to whether or not you're doing a reversal, especially if it's a meter reversal. I don't have to bother about it. I can just react to the super flash and CS. Okay, so they want me to have active frames down. Yeah, so if he hadn't DP there, he would be in block stun from my 2-2A, and I would be plus because I CS'd it really early in block stun. Targeting reversal backsteps. So if you backdash on wake up, you're actually invul during the startup. So catching backdash on wake up can actually be a very good idea. So what's going to happen is I'm going to 2C, walk in, he's going to backdash. If I 2A him, I will whiff. So if I do this, just normal 2A, meaty doesn't hit backdash on wake up. I have to do something that's bigger or have more active frames and actually catches him in the recovery of the backdash. Even that works. Okay, that's a combo. Too soon. Yeah. You can use a chain shift when getting up. You can see the okizeme during the stopped frame. Yeah, so CS on wake up. Oh, it wants me to DP it, okay. Yeah, so I saw him attacking, so I use an invincible move, and since he cannot cancel on whiff, I'm just going to DP him. You can also use this in defense, so if you CS during a block stun, or during a block string, if there's a gap and you can get a CS out, you can tell if they're doing another attack or not, and you can DP them in their block string. Importance of Vorpal. Yeah, this is too much for now. Some other time. TS gauge tactics. This is also too much for now, I think. Basically, you have to change the way you play depending on how long until the TS gauge crosses over and how much GRD you have. So, yeah, there's mind games around that, and I'm not going to go into it. If you have a lead on TS gauge, the cycle, blah, 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 you can do defenses. Don't shield to reduce the GRD gauge. Yeah, okay. So, that's one example. If your opponent is... more beer. If your opponent is attacking you, and you have GRD lead, you're about to get Vorpal, don't shield. Because if you whiff a shield, you will lose GRD, and if they grid break you by throwing your shield, you will not have any GRD, you'll be grid broken, and they will get Vorpal. So that's one way you can use the state of the GRD gauges and the TS gauge to change the way you play. If you have a lot of GRD, the opponent might not expect you to shield, so you might do like a double thing where you double cross them and shield anyway and punish them or something. Using a throw near the TS gauge full cycle is very risky. Okay, so another thing. If they tech your throw, break the throw, you lose GRD, and if you manage to throw them, you gain GRD. So it's in the favor of the one who has less GRD. Because if you get thrown and you have less GRD and you break the throw, you gain GRD and they lose GRD. So you might get the lead from that. So if you have the lead, you don't want to get thrown and you don't want to throw the opponent. Generally, wishy-washy answer, but if you get thrown, you obviously want to break the throw. But don't get too stressed out. It's just Vorpal. If you can successfully use a concentration near the TS gauge full cycle, you can use shift. You can shift the GRD gauge dramatically to gain the risk of blah 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 blah. Yeah. Concentration does like a burst of GRD to your side, and then it kind of slows down. So you can use it near the end of it to sway it more. You can also use assault in the same way. Yeah, okay. If people green shield a lot, you can throw them. Okay, this is actually cool. This is a great challenge. So it's telling me throw the opponent when they green shield. So I'm fishing for green shields. So I'm doing shorter strings and trying to react to him shielding when I end the string. Doing a shorter string is technically safe and technically not plus, but since you have the pressure going and you have the threat of doing frame traps or threat of doing more moves or anything, it's incredibly scary for the opponent to press buttons. This is a huge part to why Wagner is so good, because she can press buttons for legit like half a minute, and you can just sit there and be like, okay, I think I'm going to block this, and hopefully you will. She doesn't have too many mix-ups during her pressure, but it goes on for a while, and she can throw you a lot of times during that pressure. Like, she has a lot of plus frame, she has a lot of near neutral frame moves or rebeats that you have to look out for, and like it's a constant barrage of is she going to throw, and it's so strong. Like, I don't think any other character has as good throw pressure as Wagner can apply, because you have maybe Linne is pretty good at it. She has a couple of plus frame stuff, but nothing that just like goes into plus frames. She has to actually break the block string she's doing to do it. You have characters like Nanase who can go into plus frames and it's mashable, but it's still very good because it has a lot of threats in it. But still, Wagner's just insane compared to Nanase. Like, there's not even a comparison in tiers. You just have like, okay, Nanase is worse, and that's that. You have Phonon that can pull you in and then throw you, and still that is not as good as Wagner's pressure. Because, I mean, when people say it's just a tight string, I don't think they understand how the throw game works. Like, a tight string, if you know they're going to do a tight string, sure, you can just shield away and be as happy as ever and gain all the GRD and win Warful. But Wagner can go from 2A, and 2 moves later she's +0 and throwing your green shield. Like, you don't want to green shield her. You don't want to use shield at all. But you sort of have to, and she can control the way the GRD moves by just like ending her pressure and making you green shield. And she doesn't even have to throw you. Even if you just whiff a green shield, you still lose GRD. and she can just go back at it. And to gain back that Grd, your only safe option is to stay on the defense. Because if you press a button, she has great poke buttons, she has great whiff punish buttons, she has great specials to advance far. So Wagner's pretty crazy. She has a lot of, and she has a DP. Why not? I mean, and then even if she like goes in and you didn't do anything, she's still very safe if she has meter, or if she has Vorpal, if she has what's it called, installs, then she will be plus. Like, there's not much you can do about it unless you have a good read, or if you know like their habits. Akatsuki is worthy to mention too, yeah. But yeah, Wag is the best at it. Yeah, Akatsuki is definitely pretty scary as well. Akatsuki with 2A low is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually legit really scary. 7 frame gap, 6B, 2A, 5B. Yeah. Yeah, that's... First hit of 6B into 2A is 0. And then her 5B, which is huge for what it is, 7 frames. And I don't think any character in the game can actually contest that. Maybe like... no, not even Nana save, because the car doesn't hit there. I think it trades, maybe. Does 5B launch? Don't know. Oh well, back to the game. Rant over. If you repeatedly press D button while holding 1, 3. Okay, so this is how you CS during pressure. So if the opponent is doing frame traps, and I'm holding 1 and pressing D, I won't be able to CS until he ends his pressure because I'm getting green shield. Like that. But if I hold down, I'm not holding back. I'm not holding 1, I'm not holding 4. So if I mash D, there's nothing I'm buffering. Like, I'm not trying to shield. The 2D does nothing. So what I'm getting is I'm buffering a CS during block stun without getting shield. So 2 or 3 works really well for this. You can also do 1A plus D. So it has the same function. Because 1A plus D doesn't buffer green shield. Don't know why it doesn't, it's really good, but it doesn't. So if you do 1A plus D, 1A plus D, 1A plus D, yeah, you won't get green shield, and if you mash it, you get CS. Yeah. So the downside of that is that you can get TRM'd. So if they go up and you start mashing 1A plus D and they throw you, you'll get counter hit state and you can't take it. That's the advantage of 2DD. Yeah, so I'm just mashing until I get it. And as long as it's tight, I'm in block stun, so I can't get hit with lows. And as soon as there's a gap, I get CS. Once chain shift ends, the EX gauge increases back to normal. Back to normal, I don't know what that means. Grid break effects also cease. This can be used to offset... Wait, you... Wait, what? Chain shift ends. Grid break attack effects also cease. So does that mean if I CS, the opponent won't be grid break broken? Wait, what does it want me to do? Guard thrust. The EX gauge is under chain shift. guard thrust while the EXS gauge is under chain shift. While guarding. I don't get it. I have to read that again. Now then, go ahead and use chain shift to break the opponent's combo and counter with guard thrust before the EX. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, so as long as I have that little white meter, I can guard thrust. Is that it? Oh, cool. Oh, come on. Never done this in my life. Did you see the grid gauge? Look at the grid gauge. What's that? I've never seen that before. That's cool. Oh, I didn't know this. Oh yeah, I know, right? It's actually a good tutorial. It's teaching me stuff. Using chain shift with 6 or more blocks in your GRD gauge resets the count of limit towards your limit of ground bounces. Okay, yeah. So if I have a lot of GRD and I do dive kick with Merkava, I can do 2 dive kicks and then CS. It takes away my GRD and resets my ground bounce, so I can dive kick 3 more times before the combo ends. This often goes unnoticed, yeah. If you have a lot of grid gauge and you maybe want to do a specific ender that you can't do because it's knocked down, you might do this to get the specific ender and gain some meter and do a meter move or something. Don't know why I wouldn't just CVO, but I think that's what this was for in EL. Chain shift before a KO. Yeah, okay, so if I'm about to kill my opponent, I might just cancel my combo into CS because it leaves me 0 anyway. So at worst it takes away like 1 frame, 2 frames maybe of scaling or untakeable time. So if I know I have like a lot of untakeable frames, I can use CS to gain some meter before the next round starts.
Success.
If I know I'm already going to kill, that is. IG-san. If you land Veil off during a combo, you can remove the opponent's Vorpal state. Yeah, so if the opponent has Vorpal, and I land like straight up Veil off, not a crosscast Veil off or anything like that, because I couldn't anyway, they will no longer be in Vorpal. Jump C. Cool, okay, yeah, that works. So what happened there is he didn't get grid broken from my Veil off, but he lost his Vorpal. Some things to think about there is if the opponent has more GRD than you and the TS gauge is about to turn, then removing their Vorpal does nothing because they will get Vorpal again, since they're not grid broken. Activating Crosscast Veil off when your Vitality gauge is at 30% or less will reduce the cost of using your EX special attack. So you could use more EX moves if you have low health. So if you have orange health, you get more EX gauge, basically. You can do 3 instead of 2. And you will do more damage. Oh, Ariel. I think that's supposed to kill. Well done passing the veteran course. As impressive as that is, you're still not ready to take on other players in versus mode or network mode. Oh no! I thought I was ready. Okay. That's your only option. Okay.